Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall be seeing what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we finished Blueprints. OMG. Straight out of a stream. I'm not going to talk about it today. I'll probably talk about it in a future stream, a future Animal Crossing video, because I'm just like, it's a bit much, I think, to talk about it now, because I've literally finished it like a couple of days ago or something. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it was a great game with I would say a bit of an anticlimactic of an ending, but like only a bit. This is like the true final ending, well, as far as I know. So hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow is 6:12 p.m. on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. That's not meant for me to sort of discourage the game or anything like that, because it's amazing. It's more like the large stretch of it is really good, and I'm just more surprised that there wasn't more fanfare at the end, if anything. But I suppose most people don't get to that point. You only get to that point by the fact if you want more things to discover necessarily. Anyway, not the point. What am I going to talk about? I'm not sure. We're here to figure it out. We're here to figure it out. Just trying to think about what I'm saying. I gave you the saying, nice backflip. That's really funny. If you don't know, that's a reference to one of the Hearthstone bosses or something. It's not Eudora. It's another one. It's one of the adventures or something. There's another one of those, what are those fox people called? The fox race or whatever in World of Warcraft. She just goes, no slacking lackeys. Nice backflip. And has lived rent-free in my mind. Anyway, not a point. What are we going to talk about? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if there's anything crazy of which to speak about for these moments. I don't know why I said that so weirdly, mind you, but none that I can really think of, to be honest. Kurumi, why won't you look at me? Kurumi. Dear me. That song's also been in my head as a song I was considering submitting for this music league. I don't even know where it's from. I just know Kurumi sings it. It's all about being like true to yourself or whatever, which is weird because the song's called Greedy. Kurumi, how cool, yeah, look at me, something like that. I feel like it's along the same lines, the same vibes of Tiny Giant, the ZZZ song from Zhao. Look at me, would you look at me, yeah? Busy making the whole world go round. Liking me, would you liking me, yeah? Welcome to my show. Can't remember lyrics very well. Liking me, would you liking me, yeah? Anyway, sorry, what are we going to talk about? I'm not sure. Let me think. Blueprint's something like I feel like we're in a pretty good stage of games. It's a sort of thing where I'm glad Blueprints is done, in the sense that, like, did I have a fun time playing it? Yes. Did I hate playing it? No. There were definitely times which I did find it a bit tedious, and probably if I wasn't streaming game, I wouldn't have played all the way through to the ending I did, because it was just insane. Like, the final puzzle is honestly too much, which I wouldn't be surprised if it's meant to be more of a collaborative puzzle or something, but I suppose minor Blueprints spoilers, there is a type of puzzle which you do, I would say that you usually get, let's say coloured squares. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The final puzzle, you have to do 45 of them, which is insane. I did it over 3 streams, I think, because they just genuinely take forever to do. But I did do all of them, and the payoff was interesting. I was like, whoa, grand reveal. And there was kind of a grand reveal. But like, I'm more surprised, if anything, there wasn't some grand cutscene or something to round everything off. That's just kind of it. But yeah, it's a game which I've absolutely adored, loved playing. It's great. Is it my favourite puzzle game? I'm not actually sure if it overtakes Bad Pursuit for me personally, but it is very, very novel, I will say. And definitely a sort of thing where it's like, if you like puzzle games, I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend you go all the way to that ending necessarily. I would recommend that you go, and then when you think, that's it, I don't have anything else which I'm interested in exploring, stop. Which I would say is, how would I say obscurely? I think a good place to stop is, I'm trying to think of like a way to refer to, oh, how about ACNH? If you know what that means, I think that's probably like a really good place to stop and be like, yeah, that's it. Like that's, you could do more, but like no need, in my opinion. But your mileage may vary. So yeah, I had an absolutely lovely time playing it. I did love playing it, but it also has been 9 months, which is longer than a lot of YouTube series I think goes on for. So I'm very glad to get back to doing stream games again, which tend to be sort of more light-hearted, silly, one-off sort of games, things which won't make a good YouTube series because either they're too short, or like I want to have a conversational vibe about the entire thing. That's what I find particularly exciting. So yeah, I also did talk about the upcoming planned games for both the YouTube series and obviously on Twitch. On Twitch, the next game I'm planning to play is Duck Detective 2. It's a very light-hearted, silly sort of game again. Very funny, which I'm excited to play for. I mean, I talked about the ones which are following on. Like Fall of Porcupine, the one which I've currently planned to follow on from is called In Stars and Time. For Lorelei, the one after is, what do I have on? Oh, it's what is it called? Void Stranger, which is a game which I've been curious about playing, but then I didn't play immediately after. I don't remember why, because I was gonna do it instead of Lorelei, but then I chose to play Lorelei instead because I think, what did I play before? I think maybe it was because like the game I played before was extremely puzzly. Oh, Patrick's Parabox, which was another soccer band thing, and I think Void Stranger is a soccer band, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And then 9 Souls. One following on from 9 Souls, I'm not sure, like, currently I have Pseudo Regalia down, but I'm like, I don't want to do another Metroidvania. Oh, that is, I completely forgot about this game, that is a really good game to put down instead. I mean, Pseudo Regalia is also good, but this might be a fun one as well. Is it time for it? I don't know though. The thing is, I have so many Metroidvania-like games to play. And it's like, which one should I play? I don't know. Oh, this one could be a fun one as well. I don't even know if this is a good game or not, to be honest. I don't remember why I bought it. Or where I even heard about it. But yeah, the thing is with Metroidvania is it takes so long. Because Silk Song is the one which is going to be following on after whatever the next one is. But I need to put something in between. I can't do 9 Souls into Silk Song. That's too much. So we'll see. How are the gacha games going? I don't think there's anything crazy which has happened. Umusume's fine. I'm just sort of behind in fan grinding, which is something I do for my guild basically. Try and get 1 million in fans every single day. Which normally is basically 1 fan grinding run is enough to do so. But there have been many days now which I've not actually done a career. Probably because I burnt myself out a little bit on the sprint CM to make Halloween Super Creek work. But now it's all goofy, you know. I'm getting back into it. I'm doing some Gold City runs. I haven't made my aces for the next Champions Meet. I have one which will be fine, and then I'll have to figure out what I'm doing for the others. But they shouldn't take too many things, I think, to get right. But yeah, yeah, Blueprints is interesting because it's quite a marathon of a game. It's weird to say, where it's like I'm glad that it's over. Not because I didn't have a fun time with it, because even at the end I think I had a fun time with it, but I'm just like, it didn't feel like right streaming it, I suppose, for this long any longer. Like there's different points where I was just like, I'm done with this. Like I'm done with the puzzle aspect. Tell me what do I need to do essentially. Because there are moments I think in the game where it does feel like, oh, you know. It's not so much that it's luck based, like there was a common complaint I've heard where it's like, oh, you know, it feels like you had to, sometimes you just get unlucky and then you can't like pursue things, which is kind of annoying, which I didn't really feel until like the very, very end, I suppose, but most of the time I often had enough stuff to work on when it didn't really matter. I think it just got tedious, I suppose, towards the end of it, what sort of games you, what sort of puzzles you essentially needed to solve to get stuff done. Like, to an extent where I thought it was ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm glad I had someone basically, or people in my stream chat to basically confirm, am I thinking correct or not? Because there's so many things I'm like, I'm not sure I would have, like, I guess it's more exploration focused or more communicative, whereas you as a community come together to be like, oh yeah, like I tried this. But me playing by myself, I'm like, I would never bother doing this. This is too much, IMO. But here I am, once again. Torn into pieces, can't deny it, can't pretend. I just thought you were one. In my head, I see you all over me in my head. You fulfill my fantasies. Why is this in my head? I don't know. To be honest, it just is. So yeah, it's a game where I'm glad that it's over. In the best way possible. Because it genuinely is such like a mountain of a game that it finally finishing is sort of like a, phew, you know? What do I do now sort of feeling. Yeah. Which happens, you know, a lot sometimes. Like, I felt that definitely with Hollow Knight, because now I'm sort of like in the afterglow of it. It's now, I'll probably look back at it with fond memories, forgetting about the fact that I spent 3 streams, aka like 10 hours collectively or something, making up this, or drawing, well, I won't give away what the puzzle is essentially, but doing something incredibly tedious for the sake of a puzzle. Yeah. So it's something which, in the afterglow, I'm sure will be great. Because like Hollow Knight as well, like beating up the true final boss, I would say was definitely very tedious doing it over and over. But I will say, credit where credit's due to Hollow Knight, actually doing it was like such a great sense of relief. Well, Blueprints are actually finishing was kind of like a, oh. I thought there might be more. But there was not. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying. So there's a sort of game where it's like, I'm glad to see it leave. There's a sort of thing like, you know, with friends as well, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, love hanging out with my friends. Do you want to hang out with your friends literally 24/7 all the time? After a holiday, you're just like, yeah, I just need to spend some time away from you for a little bit. I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. Depends how long the holiday is, to be honest. But it's very much a sort of thing where I'm just like, oh yeah, you know? I'm glad it happened. There's also one thing, so I'm playing Uma Musume at the same time, and I'm just trying to see, do I have any Umas with dirt legacies? Like a lot of dirt legacies? I could bring my dirt up to a B. That's probably good enough. Because I wanted to do it without using them up my burrows, essentially. So we'll try it with this legacy. Because that B should be good enough for, I think, a lot of these. And I could probably run pace as well. Shooting for victory is probably a good one, hey? Anyway. Yeah. I don't know what to say now. Like, it's sort of like I'm in the aftermath of playing a great game and just sort of being like a, well, what do I do now? And I don't really have an answer. Because it's like literally all I was thinking about, I suppose, for a long while, like between streams. And then it sort of just became like, oh, you know, here we go, we're going back to Blueprints for a little bit. So now it's going to be so weird playing a different sort of game, I think, on stream. in a good way, I think. So yeah, it's a sort of weird thing where it's like, yeah, it's a game I truly, genuinely loved. Like, it's almost certainly made my top, would it make my top 10? I'm not sure, I'd have to think about that. But definitely made my top 20 games of all time. And then just being like, I'm so glad it's over, you know? In the infamous words of, I don't know who sings the song, but too much of anything can make you sick. Even the good can be a curse. Who sings that? I need to go up. Too much of anything can make you sick. Cheryl Cole, fight for this love. Even the good can be a curse. We gotta fight for this love. That's a random random song pool, to be honest. But yeah, it's sort of like I'm glad to see it go in a good way. In the best way possible. Which is like, I'm glad I experienced it, essentially. It definitely lived up to a lot of its hype, I think. So that's certainly one strong positive for it. As it did well to sort of demonstrate what it has going for it. Which is a lot, I would say. A lot of good stuff. So I'm literally just playing Umu Musume now on my phone. Let's at least make a thumbnail up. Too much of anything. Sort of like a gluttonous sort of thing. Enveloping myself with blueprints. Like, it went through a real roller coaster, you know, when I started out playing, being like, okay, I kind of, like, it's kind of cool, but I'm not really sure I get it, and then I get it now. Glad to finish. Yeah, well, like, literally, it's like a gluttonous sort of mindset, isn't it? I'm glad that it's finally over, and I'm glad I did it, but dang, was that a lot to do. In the best way possible. Because yeah, I think it's happened to me with quite a few games where I'm just like, oh yeah, this was, I'm glad I finished it, but I'm also very glad I don't have to play it anymore. Not because I didn't enjoy playing it, but I'm just like, I played it for so long. I need to play something else at this point. Just to sort of like freshen up the palette, you know, a little bit. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that. So I guess I'll just sort of round this episode off here. And I might record some other stuff. Would I record more Lorelei? I don't know. I could have more Fall of Porcupine. I've actually got quite a decent backlog right now. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. A like, comment, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see you again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.